Alright, hopefully I got the microphone volume proper for this video, because in the last one I had uploaded it was a little bit too low, and not because I set it low, but because the lower you set the microphone setting in the settings, the more of your actual voice it picks up and not any background ambient noise. But I guess I overdid it. Anyway, a few quick things out the way. Don't mind the bed. I'm washing right now. I've been cleaning my room. I'm washing sheets and all that. So that's why that's there. Just finished taking a shower. I'm actually getting ready for work. So that's why everything looks the way it does in the background. And it's actually pretty bad because, as I said in the previous video, I got a new webcam and I can record in full 1080p right now, so you can see every detail of how bad the room looks. Moving on. This video, as the title says, is going to explain a very big misconception that is paraded around. And I got tired of hearing it, especially considering that my own family member has been saying it as well. And I just really am tired of it. And here it is now. I saw a video by a user named Hot Alpha Female that is kind of challenging it, but not really. And, well, anyway, this is basically going to be one of those dissecting type videos. Y'all, if anybody remembers my previous videos and how I used to do it, basically I replay their video and give my commentary to it. Now, and then of course at the end I'm probably going to tie in any loose ends, and that'll be the end of the video. This is not attacking Hot Alpha Female. I am subscribed to her. I listen to her stuff. Admittedly halfway because I just like the way she looks, and the other half is because some of the times she actually does have stuff that is quite interesting. For example, this one that I'm making a video response to, even though it wasn't originally intended just for her. Well, it's still not intended just for her. Enough rambling. Let's get into it, because I actually have other things that I need to get done. So let's see here.
Hey everyone, it is Hot Alpha Female today, and today I have a very interesting topic that you guys, I'm sure, will have plenty to say about, and that is what is up with women today. I want to give you a little insight. This is probably something that you guys will discover the very hard way, and it's also spread because I've been speaking to a lot of my friends in America and the people that I mastermind with and brainstorm with about some of these ideas. And I've heard some shocking horror stories about American women, and it's kind of scary. And I wanted to, after I thought about it for a little while, I wanted to be able to give you some insights on what's really going on there, and why they're so scary and psycho and dominant and manipulative, and how what you guys can kind of do in order to counter that and what's really going on. So let's get started. Now, I could basically boil it down to a couple of different points, but the first one is that, particularly in America, I mean, women have a lot of high expectations of what they are supposed to be able to accomplish and achieve in their life, especially women, early 20s up until late 50s. There's just a huge pressure for them to be extremely successful.
And herein lies the first thing. There is no pressure for them to be successful. At least no pressure from half of society. Now, when I say society, obviously society making up men and women, male and female. Okay, fine. Half of society is what's giving the pressure, and it's not the men, it's not the male. And this is the big misconception that people have. Women have been, some of them have been led to believe, and just ran with, the idea that they are being pressured to do it all, to go out and be this corporate person, to come in and be this housewife, and to blah, 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 blah. That is a lie. That is an absolute lie. And here is a simple fact of the matter. I'm going to try to make sure I say this as nicely as possible. Us men don't care what about your success. We don't. Okay? We simply put, we don't. Put honestly, and I'll make a whole nother video about this, explaining this out, because there's a lot more to it than just what I'm about to say. But really, in today's day and age, men and women don't really need anything from each other apart from, like, say, sex. Everything else, men have been proving since Adam and Eve that they can do on their own, and women now, through technology and this supposed freedom from the supposed oppression that they've been having, they have now been proving that they can do it on their own as well. There's really nothing tying us together except for sex. That's pretty much it. And in that, I say the three things that a man wants from a woman is feed us, fuck us, and shut up. That is not you know, you can ask whatever guy friends you have, they will not tell you that because, I don't know, maybe they're trying to sleep with you or whatever, but guys won't admit that in front of women. They, however, are thinking that. That is all they need. Anything else is just fluff and padding. Moving into this whole expected to do everything, that comes from women. Women are the ones pressuring other women to go out and do everything. A simple breakdown, but that's pretty much the way it is. Men aren't pressuring women to go out and be this corporate elitist CEO anything. That's women doing that. And for the women that choose not to do that and choose to go the more maybe not full-on traditional housewife, but or homemaker, but more traditional than not, they are demonized not by men but by other women, especially the feminist-based women. So that is where the pressure to go out and perform outside the house comes from. Us men, here's the truth of the matter with us men. We have not had our male liberation movement. We have not had our liberation from the oppressive, stereotypical male roles, okay? We are still expected to go out, no matter how bad the economy is, no matter how bad it is to do anything. We are expected to go out there and protect and provide and be a leader and all this other foolishness that is very draining and is essentially a life commitment. The truth of the fact of the matter is, we would actually, whether we would prefer it or not, it would be more beneficial to us and in fact to everyone if we did not have to deal with not only the competition of men, but other women as well. And now, in today's day and age, that has been amplified not just in the West, but women and men all over the world. Okay? Sorry, the degrees that men strive to get to be able to make more money and be able to bring it home and take care of family, it would be worth a lot more if we didn't have to sit there and worry about Tom with his computer engineering degree, as well as Sally with her computer engineering degree. Especially considering that Sally has the degree, can make the money, but now she wants Tom to still do it even though she's there, and even simple law of supply and demand, high demand of people with computer engineering degrees, for example, but there's an infinite supply because there's not only Tom and Sally now, but there is Apu, there's Manjula, there's Zhang, there's Hitomi, there's Boris, there's Yulia, there's all over the world, okay? Simply put, we just don't need it. So this whole thing of women are expected to go out and be this corporate thing, that's coming from feminists, that's coming from other women. That's not coming from men. So we shouldn't have to sit there and deal with whatever burnout you all have, which there's an article, I'm pretty sure I can find it, women burning out by 30. The simple fact is that you all have been lied to, okay? I mean, you've been sold this foolishness from feminists that men go out and they are basically in this Elysian fields out at work, screwing the secretary. I don't know how she's there if women are also oppressed back in the home. I don't know how she managed to get that job out in the workplace, but she's there. We're all screwing her, and we're running off, leaving you with the kids. That is the foolishness you all have been sold, and it's a lie. Work is not this great heaven that feminists have told you it was. And now you're realizing that. And you're burning out. But hey, you're still, they've told you, oh, you need to go out and work and you need to go out and do this. And you've sat there and indoctrinated yourself with it and probably indoctrinated your kids with it, your daughters with it as well. And now you're paying for it. So that's pretty much how that works. Us men, we would better be able to protect and provide, well, at least provide, if we didn't have to deal with the competition from women as well as men. Oh, before I actually go off into that, the argument could be made that say, okay, well, what if men went back into, went into the house and left women? Would that do the same effect? Yes, it would do the same effect, because half of the population is gone, so there's less to pick from, the supply is low, and the demand for, like, say, I don't know, computer engineering, chemical engineering, bioengineering, whatever. Notice I said engineering and not some foolishness like art, like history major, music major, women's studies or something. Stuff of consequence, so stuff that's actually in demand. Engineering. Yes, it would produce the same effect. There'd be less to pick from because men are gone, so you'd have to pay the women more. Again, simple supply and demand. However, there is one slight thing that comes with that, and that is, if that was the case, that men went into the home and women were the ones out working, would you women still respect men, as leaders, as the dominant whatever, doing that? And this was a question that was actually posed by me numerous times, but by also another YouTube user named Anne Vu, where she posed that question, and the woman that answered it, she said no. Well, not that she herself wouldn't, but that women, as in general, would not. And that leads to a problem, because when you have a man that's supposed to be dominant and whatever, and that's what the woman expects, she's supposed to be dominant, in charge, and whatever, and he's playing the submissive or the following role, she eventually loses respect for him. More than likely, she will cheat on him and or leave him, probably both. And, well, that's why you're stuck with man being the leader and having to go out and provide, and women being at home and stuff. Who knows? Maybe us men would love to be able to take a freaking day off having to do all this shit outside and go home and whatever while you all slave away. But the primal, conscious, subconscious thing just won't allow that on your part. And sooner or later, it's just going to fall apart. As we see now, it's sooner. So yeah, sorry for that long bit, especially since the video is not is long, and there's actually a second part. But yeah, that's the explanation for that one right there. It's not, society isn't expecting you all to go out and be this huge corporate performer. It's other women, and mainly feminists, that are doing that. And I had a business teacher that described that very same thing. She graduated from Harvard. Her husband makes enough money, so she decided, okay, she didn't want to go out and work. She wanted to be more at home, despite having a Harvard degree in business, obviously. And, you know, she's an older woman. She's maybe, I don't know, in her 60s, 50s, 60s. And yeah, they, the women of her generation got on her about it. Oh, you were going backwards. Oh, you just set us back and all that stuff. They got on her about it. So, again, this is in-house. You can't blame men for this. This isn't the patriarchy. This is all in-house. This is, you women brought this on yourselves. This is not us. Let's keep going.
Career-wise, family-wise, they need to have it all together. They need to have the family, they need to have the career, and they need to all do it with a smile on their face.
Again, hey, I just sat there and spent like a good 10 minutes explaining that. Good for you. You all chose that. You're free now. You got your freedom. You got your free will. You all chose to do that. You can't blame anybody else for that but yourself. And if you can't handle it, well, hey, you know what? Shit. Tough luck. That's that. This is all in-house. You chose to do this on your own.
And to be honest, it is a lot of pressure for a woman. And it's getting harder and harder for her to admit that at times she can't handle something because there's this big ego thing going on about needing to prove that she can do everything. And the truth is, it's very difficult for a woman to multitask all these areas in her life and make sure that they're up to scratch. It just really can drive a woman mad and crazy.
Yeah, well, that goes along with explaining a lot of things about the average woman, or at least in the West. However, you just said it yourself, an ego thing, okay, that's all well and nice. That's not only in-house as far as your gender doing that, that's you yourself, that's personal in-house. That has nothing to do with men. Your ego and proving, I don't know who you're trying to prove it to, us men don't care. And when you burn out, the women that you're trying to prove it to or show that you can do it with, we can do it, sister. When you burn out, they're nowhere to be found to help you. So, as to who the hell you're trying to live up with the Joneses, as it were, I don't know. But again, that's not men. So we shouldn't have to sit there and put up with whatever effects or physical and or mental breakdowns you women have because of your choice and your choosing to go out and try to do something that us men have been trying to do since Adam and Eve and have not been able to do. Trust me, if we could have it all, us men would have had it all already, and we have not. We have never had it all. So, that's your problem. I'm sorry, women, but you brought that on yourself. That's not us. That has nothing to do with us. So you cannot blame us for that.
And then you guys have to deal with that, and that's not fun.
Not fun and not fair. I mean, and honestly, we don't have to deal with that. And that's why you see a lot of the stuff happening right now with the whole dynamics. That's why you see the MRAs, MRM, and just guys, whether they subscribe to MRAs or MRM or not, or whether they're like the guys in Japan, the grass-eating boys that have just said, screw this whole materialistic, get stuff to try to please women and all that stuff. Whether you subscribe to any camp or not, guys are just saying, fuck it, we don't have to deal with this. We didn't put this on you. You chose this yourself. You bet on the wrong horse. You rolled the dice and you lost. And now you want us to sit there and deal with the after effects with the waste. And we're not doing it. We are not doing it. So no, we don't have to deal with it. Sorry. And again, this video is not an attack to her. She's talking in generally of women, and so am I in regards to men. So yeah,
So because they have these higher expectations of themselves, they also have these high expectations of relationships. There's, I think there's a channel over there called the Opposition Channel. It's got all these, TV shows on it, and it's just, and the media and things like Cosmo. I mean, you just put on all these ideas in women's head about what a relationship is about. And as well as that, I think.
Yeah, before you go on, yeah, about that, yeah, stop watching that foolishness. Stop watching Oxygen. Stop watching Lifetime. Jesus Christ. Stop watching that. Stop reading Cosmo. Well, what in the hell makes you think that getting advice about men from other women is the right way to go? Would you get an advice from deer on how to hunt deer? No. I mean, Jesus Christ, why would you do that? Stop, women, stop getting advice about men from other women. Stop getting it from your gay best friend too, from your gay male friend. That doesn't work. Stop getting it from other women. Stop reading Cosmos, stop reading Glamour, stop reading Miss Magazine, stop reading all that foolishness. You just said it yourself. It's putting the ideas in your head. For some odd reason, you women cannot filter out the bullshit. Or let me not say you women, the vast majority of you women, and that is true. You cannot filter it out. You cannot realize this is bullshit, man. Would I take this from a guy if he did this to me? Fuck no. Why the hell would he take it from me? No guy's that bad. I don't care how much pussy, whatever. No guy's gonna put up with that shit. You all cannot string that together. Stop watching the reading the Cosmos, stop all that crap, okay? Stop doing it. That is a part of the problem. Just like a lot of comedians, like say Dave Chappelle said, you women are getting advice from other women and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Let's keep going.
Women really think this idea of femininity and being a woman is basically about just exerting sexual power over men, and really, it's just kind of manipulative, and there's more to a woman's femininity than her sexuality and her sexualness.
Okay, well, considering that you just said that a good majority, I mean, you never want to say all women, but most women think that femininity is exerting sexual control over men. Well, again, whose fault is that? You all are the ones thinking that and acting on that belief. If you want to do that, fine, and wreck yourself and drive yourself mentally insane, fine, but why do men have to put up with that? Okay, we're not the ones forcing you or oppressing you to this sexual whatever. You are the ones choosing it. You have your sexual liberation. It's you women that have been screaming that shit some 30, 40 years ago till now. You have your sexual liberation. You have your whatever. So this is what you're choosing to do with it. It's not working for you. Why do us men who are just hoping to God that we don't get hit with any sexual harassment, rape, perv, whatever, we're just trying to distance ourselves from you so we don't get hit with any of that crap, trying to respond to natural urges, natural biological makeup, of which you all know and are acting on. Why are you blaming us for that? Why do we have to go through that? That is the problem. Well, one of the problems. Stop doing that. Shit. I mean, come on now. If that's what you want to think it is, fine. If that's what you want to act based on that belief, fine. But don't try to put it on us or blame us or have us deal with the effects of your mistake. Only fair.
Femininity is based on being open and receptive in a number of ways. And and it's not just like that in the bedroom, but in that while you're relating to her as well. It's so if she's open and receptive, then you can feel yourself more as a man as well, and this is really important through that dynamic between a man and a woman. What else? At the end of the day, the women that project this idea that they do have it all together and they don't need a man and they can have everything handled, these are the women that are probably the most scared. They're the most frightened. They're the most uncertain. They're the ones that need the most reassurance. And because they can't find that in a man, or they don't believe that they can find that in a man, they are basically just having this guard up. Like, okay, well, if no guy can handle it, I'm going to handle it all. And I'm going to stress the shit out of myself. I'm going to try to handle it all, but I'm not going to admit that I can't.
Okay, well, again, your choice. Good for you. You chose to think that way and do that. Okay, the reason you can... Oh, man, this goes into other stuff, and I mean, I'm already at 24 minutes. There's a whole other video. This one is only half done, so I'll make another video some other time about this. But when it comes down to it, Hey, you wanted to go and be strong and independent, then go. Be strong and independent. Go out there, be strong and independent. You can do whatever. You can pay for your own stuff. I depend on me. All the single ladies, independent women, go do that. You have the freedom. You have the free will. Go do that. And when you fail miserably, don't come back complaining to us. Don't run to us. Don't come crying to us. That's what you chose? Wash my hands clean of it. Okay? I'm sorry if you don't think that men don't want to put up with your crap. That's the problem. It's not that you can't find a man that will, in fact, lighten the load for you. It's just that they don't want to have to deal with the attitude and the belligerence and the combativeness and and all of that foolishness that you women, for whatever imbecilic reason, things equates to being strong. Okay? And I got a whole other video coming off about that whole strong woman crap. We don't want to deal with it, because while you're sitting here trying to do this all on your own and burning out and having all this mental and physical problems, you realize that us men are not exactly getting an all-expense paid trip through life. We are the only species on this planet that have to pay to be here, and men have to pay just as much. Keep in mind, us men, we don't have the option like you women do of saying, you know what, screw this, I can't do it, I'm going to go be a housewife, I'm going to be submissive and you take care of me. We don't have that option. If we can't take care of ourselves, we're done. Okay? And for the few exceptions, the guys that are able to find some rich old woman, young guy found rich old woman, good for you. That's like 1 in a trillion, as opposed to the other way around. So, that good for you. You can't admit it. You don't want to admit it. You need to fix yourself, because women want guys to admit their faults and they're wrong all the time. You're the ones that are breaking down. You're the ones that are literally disintegrating mentally and who knows, maybe even physically, because you can't admit that, yo, I'm not Superwoman. I cannot do it all. I cannot have it all. And, well, you know what? You have no one to blame but yourself. And I don't really see why men have to put up with that from you all. Maybe I'm wrong. If anybody can tell me why men should have to deal with that when they have to deal with life themselves and their own stuff, and their own things that they have to keep bottled up because men don't display weakness and all that crap. Hey, tell me. Video response, comment, whatever.
And so these are the women that are probably just like, can be quite intimidating just because you don't understand like what you could possibly give to this woman, what you could possibly exchange in terms of communication and just any needs whatsoever with her, because she just seems to have it all handled and she won't let you in. So women have this whole idea about being really independent, and so they can earn as much as any man these days. They can bear children, they can have a family, they can do all sorts of wonderful things that are very equal to what a man can do. And they will say to themselves, I don't need a man, I've got my money, I've got my cars, I've got my career, I've got my family, I've got my friends, I've got my hobbies, why do I need a man? And they will project that idea. They will project that when they go about and they walk around and, basically stick up their butt. And then they'll go home and they'll sit down in their apartment by themselves and they'll be like, hang on, I seem like I have it all together, like I have everything that a man could, I have everything that equals what a man could have. So why do I feel lonely? Why do I still have this desire to have a man in my life when clearly I don't need him? And what it's about is...
Yeah, before you get on that, it's kind of interesting because a lady named Shahrazad Ali was saying not essentially the same thing. She said the same stuff that you said just now. She was mainly speaking to black women because this was, it was like black issues, but Basically, she said, that black women go around saying, and this isn't just to black women now. I'm just saying what she said. She said, a lot of black women go around saying, what, I got my own car, my own house, my own this, my own that, so I don't need no man. And then she's like, I don't even know how you got all that mixed up. None of that has anything to do with having a man. And that's exactly what a lot of women, black or not, are realizing. That has nothing to do with having a man. Now, hey, you said you didn't need a man? Okay, fine. Go. Now, here comes the part that I have a problem with. This whole thing of need versus want. I am not going to be a prop in some woman's life, okay? I am not going to be an accessory. It's like, oh, wow, a nice little trinket. Oh, I mean, it's here. Oh, that's nice. But if I don't want it, or if it's broken, or whatever, throw it out. I don't know any man that has any dignity and respect for himself, or whatever you want to call it. Dignity, respect, pride, ego, arrogance, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't know any man that's going to sit there and be like, and accept some woman sitting there and say, oh, well, I don't need you, I just want you. Well, look, bitch, I am not a jester here to entertain you, okay? I am not some genie here to grant you 3 wishes. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, I just want you in my life. I don't need you. If I'm not needed, leave me the fuck alone, all right? If I am not needed, then leave me to my life, okay? I mean, most people say I don't go where I'm not wanted. Me, I say I don't go where I'm not needed. So if you don't need me, then I won't be here. If you want me, okay, fine. Okay, well, as far as wanting me, the most vain part of that is wanting me for one night on that bed, but that's it. But as far as I don't need a man, okay, fine. Well, then go be independent, go be single, go amass all of this material stuff. But you're gonna turn around and say, oh, I don't need you, but I just want you. I don't. No. Sorry, because I'm gonna tell you this right now. Men could say the same thing and it would not fly well. Shit, I could say it right now, and in fact, I do say it. I don't need a woman. I mean, hell, I can sit here and list out all the things that I've done on my own, and yes, I don't need a woman, but I want a woman. I'm just saying. Right now, I'm enjoying being single. But I want a woman, but I don't need it. That would not fly well with any woman. So, I mean, shit, you can just hear her saying it. Oh, so wait, so what? Women are just some little object or toy that you can just throw in a closet when you don't want it, but when you want it, you pull it out, dust it off, and use it for whatever. You women are finally getting. I mean, this video is old, 2011, but I mean, this whole thing's been going on for a while. This whole spirit of the time, this whole zeitgeist, I guess. You women are finally realizing that A, you've been lied to. B, you can't do it all on your own. C, you can sit there and talk about, oh, we don't need women. We don't need men. Oh, sperm bank this. Oh, I'm a strong, independent that. First of all, y'all look like fucking imbeciles. I'll tell you this right now. Okay? Not only to men, but also to not your mom, your grandmother, and if not your grandmother, your great-grandmother. Because I can tell you right now, men realize the foolishness and the doomed ruination of a path that you women are walking down with this kind of mentality, this modern woman, new age mentality. Okay? Your grandmother or great-grandmother also knew it. Okay? If you want to learn about men and you don't want to learn from actual men, go find your grandmother or your great-grandmother and learn about men from her. She knows. Your mom, no. Your mom is just as fucked up and warped and imbecilic as you are.
Even though she may be able to financially take care of herself, and emotionally take care of herself in different ways, to have her whole life put together, at the end of the day, I mean, she still has this biological urge for that emotional protection that only a man can really provide, and that type of intimacy, that and connection and depth that only a relationship can really give you. And some women have realized this. Others are just kind of running autopilot, and they're just like, you know what, maybe, this emptiness is going to be filled if I focus more on my career, if I pick up a new hobby, if I do 20 things instead of just 10 things. But the truth is that what they really want and desire and need is a man.
Well, you know what? You all drove us away. You drove us away when you all didn't get that feminism shit of the past checked up until now. And before anybody gets on me about, oh, feminism was about equality, don't start that, because that's a debate you all do not want to get into. Big difference between feminism and women's suffrage. Big difference. Hey, you drove us away. So what are you complaining about? You know? You drove men away, so what are you complaining about? You're getting what you want. Be happy and stop crying. You are wrong. Be happy with your wrong choice. Stop crying. Keep going. I believe the term that us men here for our directed at us is what? What is it? Suck it up. Stop crying. Man up. I mean, you women are equal to us, right? You can do whatever us men can do. According to Obama, you can do anything a man can do and do it better and do it in heels. So, suck it up. Stop crying. Take it like a man. And all that foolishness. Yeah, sorry, women. You get no sympathy from us men. You brought this 100% on yourself, and there's no way you can blame us for this one.
And the problem is that they just can't admit this to themselves yet.
Yeah, and if anybody actually watches her video, it seems right at that point that she was going to say, you can't admit this to men, and then she switched it to, can't admit this to yourselves yet. Well, you know what? Hey, that's in-house. Do whatever. If you want to be this toxic pool of stress and strain and problems, fine, whatever. Don't project it on me, okay? Don't project it on men. Don't project it on us. We're too busy wrestling with life ourselves, with existence ourselves. We don't need you giving us extra strain. So I'm sorry, if you all find it so hard, imagine how hard us men find it when we are told we have to single-handedly protect and provide and lead ourselves plus woman plus child. At least one child, if not more. So really, you get no sympathy from us, least of all me.
And that is what I believe is the real issue with what is going on with women today. They're tired, they're exhausted, they're scared, but they can't admit that. So they're trying to put up this guard, they're trying to put up this wall and this barrier to say, hey, you know what, I don't need you, when really what they would like to say is, oh my god, truly, I would just love to have a man in my life, a real man in my life who I can just lean on, who I can share my life with. But they can't get to that point yet. There are certain things, though, that you can do as a guy, especially in the dating scene, or as a guy who is in a relationship and would just like to take that a step further, that can really help coax out her femininity. And in doing so, it can really help you just feel like the biggest man. You just get to win with your woman every single time. And I think that...
No, well, sorry to cut that off. Hopefully it is wrapping up, thank God, because this video, again, at 1080p, full 1080 at 39 minutes and counting, is probably going to be close to a gig. Keep saying that, they can't admit that yet, they're scared, they're nervous, they're whatever. What's stopping them? What is stopping them from doing that? I mean, hey, you can't say it's the patriarchy, you can't say it's oppressive men. I mean, what? Do you need legislation? Do women's interest groups need to lobby in Congress? I mean, or for you UK people, House of Commons, Parliament, what do you all have over there? What do you need? And here it is now, once again, it's us men that needs to do something in the dating scene, or if we're in a relationship, we need to help out. You know, there's a poster I have, and it's on some of my videos, a demotivational that says strong, feminism, strong, smart, and independent until things get a little bit difficult. I should have had that as the screen, the wallpaper screen for this video, and all my videos really, but for some reason the new program, I don't see any option to uh, use it as like a blind. That's what it was in the old program. Um, but that's exactly what it is. Strong, smart, independent until things get difficult. And then all of a sudden, scared, weak, I want a man, I need a man, need a man. Screw wanting. You need a man. You women need a man. You women need men, but I just can't admit it. You can't admit what everybody, what all living things already know. Every single, your pet snake, your pet rabbit, your pet whatever, the animals out in the world, birds of the field, birds of the air, beasts of the field. I bet you they're all looking at us like, man, these dumb bitches. Sitting there talking about they don't need a man. Everybody needs a man. Every female entity needs the male entity. Every male entity needs the female. When they're sitting there talking about, oh man, the dumb human beings. What? I don't understand what is so hard about admitting that. Why? What is stopping you women from admitting that? I don't understand. I don't get it. Where's all this freedom and free will and independence that you women were barking and at us, at men, at society? You have all this, you can do all this, you can do anything, but yet you can't admit that you need us. You can't even admit it to yourself, much less us. You all look really bad right now. And this is the kind of stuff that has that basically has women not being respected. When you sit there and you talk all this trash, and then when it comes down to crunch time, you're crying. That's the kind of shit that makes women not get respected in society. Anyway, let's wrap this crap up because I got other stuff to do. I hope to God YouTube takes this video because it's gonna be huge and I cannot edit this thing right now.
Will be really important for the both of you. So that will be probably next week in my video, especially about masculine energy and what you can do as a guy to coax out a woman's femininity. And the more that you do that, the more open and receptive and girly and fun she will be. And this will be very good for both of you. So look out, guys, for the video next week, and leave your comments, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Okay. So yeah, that's the end of her video. Let me just wrap this up. A few quick, few things. Thank God I won't have to do a second video because I watched both parts of her video. And the second one is basically what us guys can do to help the women. And I think we should all know men's stance, or at least my stance, and men's stance, whether they admit it or not, on this thing, which is, yo, that you got what you wanted, accept the consequence for your actions, which is that you're burning out, you're stressed out. Shit, studies have shown that women are more unhappy now than before. I mean, shit. What's there to say? What is there to say? Everything that was talked about in her video and in this video was all women bringing it on themselves. This was all done in-house. So no influence from men, any at all. We're not the ones that told you go out there and go work in the corporate world and go stress yourself out, then come in and do this. We are busy working in the corporate world, and we have to, again, as I said earlier, we don't have a choice. We have to go out there or and kill ourselves bringing in money to support wife and kids, or we are not a good man. Not a real man. I don't know what the hell we are. Maybe we're made out of rubber or tin. We're not a real man. We're this and that. You all have the choice, and you're choosing to do that. Unless I'm to understand now that despite all of this supposed liberation, you still don't have any choices, which is blatantly not the case. Uh, what does it matter? I know full well, even though everything I said here is just absolute logic and fact, people are still going you're still gonna have the women in general, much less the feminists, and then the pussy whipped, probably closet homosexual, mangina white knights, saying that this video is somehow misogynistic against women and blah blah blah. So what does it matter? But anyway, that's my video explaining or showing you how men honestly don't care about women's success. This whole foolishness of women having to go out and do everything and be everything to everyone, that is self-imposed. No man has imposed that on women. It would be much more beneficial to us if we didn't have women competing with as well as other men for jobs. Um, there'd be less workers in the workforce to pool, so they would have to pay the few that they had more, and as a result, more pay comes in rather than everybody else, rather than everybody being there and getting paid less. And of course, obviously, that has not. The argument could come, okay, well, everybody pays less, but everybody has to cover less. You know, you have to. Everybody takes care of themselves. Well, that doesn't work. As we see in this economy, it's getting hard for even a single person with no kids, man or woman, to take care of themselves, much less a married couple pooling, because the price of inflation for everything, any and everything, far outpaces uh, pay raises. So um, yeah, it's getting hard for everybody, no matter what they do, to do that. But anyway, yeah, this is a video response. Time to end it now. This thing's almost a damn movie at 47 minutes. Comment, video response, respond if you choose. You have the freedom and free will to do so. Have a good day.